Welcome to Life with Java. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment.
Good morning.
Good morning, friends. Welcome back. Good morning from Clefairy. We are coloring some pictures this morning for some of our friends.
Clefairy.
And some for us, of course, too. I think Jackson has a joke to start us out with today.
Why did the butter knife wear a bow tie?
Why?
Because it wanted to look sharp.
Nice. We thought we'd bring you along for another day in the life. What are we going to do after we color?
Walk.
We're going to go for a walk. Well, it's nice outside. Then we are going to run into the store just long enough to get something to make for dinner and some coffee and some creamer.
You do not need any more coffee.
There was something you wanted from the store. What was it?
Rice Krispies.
You want Rice Krispies? How about if we make some Rice Krispie treats? How about if we get the marshmallows and the Rice Krispies and make our own?
We don't have marshmallows.
That's why I said how about we get some at Walmart. How about we make our own recipe and you have your own Rice Krispie treats?
Sure.
Okay.
Peppermint on your tongue feels so good, running from the problems yet it fades away, you can't stay away.
I'm not finished yet, but I think we'll go ahead and go for a walk. I'm a much slower coloring person than Jackson is, but I'll finish this later. Gotta stop for a few stem breaks along the way. The park is very crowded today. Jackson does not like the park when it's crowded. He struggles to ride his scooter. You know, he usually goes round and round and round when we're the only people here. And he struggles to ride when it's crowded. He won't pass anybody. He stays right behind me. He often runs over my heels. He's very upset. There's our dog friend right there. We haven't seen them in a while, so it was nice to see her. We've already passed her twice. Her dog is the biggest German Shepherd I've ever seen. Hans is his name. But as I was saying, the weather is beautiful. The day is gorgeous. But it's crowded and it's making life a little bit difficult. Here we go again. You see, he won't pass the people up here. And stemming a lot. But we are doing the best we can. Let's have a little look at the water. I hear some geese. All right, here we go. Let's keep moving forward a bit, please. Thank you. Somebody went home barefoot. How do you leave your shoes and not notice? All right, we've waited until everyone else has passed. Let's head on around, okay? You have a clear path to go almost all the way to the car. Ready? Steady, go. Two things I thought I would mention. Number one, let's talk about non-scale victories when we are on a weight loss journey. When we came back from vacation, I was about 8 pounds up from where I've been for months and months and months. And I knew a lot of it was water weight, but it was still discouraging. But after being back for a couple weeks now and back to eating, you know, pretty good and pretty healthy and doing the best I can, I'm back down to where I was. But more so than that, Jackson and I bought these bluey shirts. I got this one, and he got a different bluey shirt.
No, we've had this since this Valentine's.
Yeah, we got them the day after Valentine's on the clearance sale, and they were like $1 a piece.
Yeah.
I'm not usually the type of mom to wear a cartoony t-shirt, but Jackson loves Bluey, and truth be had, I do too. So anyway, he wanted us to have the blue shirts so we could kind of match. And when we brought them home, it was too tight on my stomach. I just wasn't comfortable wearing it. But I pulled it out today. I just wanted something lightweight and cotton, and I thought I'll just wear it around the house and to walk in. And it fits really nicely. It's not tight at all. Okay. It's not tight at all. So, big non-scale victory. Sometimes even when the scale isn't moving, I've been the same weight, give or take a pound or two, probably since January or February. But all the walking and the exercising and the eating well is still paying off because my body is adjusting and changing shapes regardless and getting stronger. I notice I have muscles in my legs again. The second thing, what was I going to mention? Meltdowns and struggles. A lot of people comment on how well behaved Jackson is, or maybe how, I don't know how to word it. Let me just put it this way. We have struggles. We have lots of struggles every day. I just don't show them on here. I edit them out, or I don't have the camera out at all in those moments. I will not show that. I will not discuss any of that in detail. But just know, as with any autism family, we do have the struggles and the behaviors and the meltdowns. We just choose to focus on the positives. I read something yesterday that said, a bad time doesn't mean a bad life. And I love that. That's the exact motto I live by. Hard moments are hard moments. They don't mean our days are hard or our life is hard. Moments are moments, and there are just as many great ones that we celebrate and show as there are hard ones that we don't show. So let's do one more lap, baby. You want to walk? Pit stop so we can get a drink, blow our noses. Jackson put his scooter away. He wants to walk on our second lap. We were just noticing that all the bean pods are brown and fell down now. Just a couple weeks ago, they were still yellow in the tree, weren't they? Here comes the running lady. She kind of blows my mind. She's running in flats, like comfy flats, but definitely not tennis shoes. Oh my gosh, that would hurt my feet. Of course, everything hurts my feet. I can't run in anything but tennis shoes. I don't wear anything but tennis shoes. Look at all the pumpkins. So cool. They're good? Let's see. Do we have any sugar-free?
What?
You want to try that? No, the cheap ones. Yep, get those.
Generic or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we need marshmallows.
Oh, here we go. Like the tiny ones?
Yep. Just the cheap ones up top. Get the really big bag. Right here, the bigger one. Right here. Over here.
This?
Over. Yep, right there. Okay. McCormick meatloaf. Can you find it? It's in a blue package. Yep, that's what I want. Get 2 of them. We'll have one now and one for later. Less sodium is fine. Either one. Good job. Mom will make some meatloaf. I have everything we need except 2 pounds of ground beef or turkey. I have 1 pound thawing out, so let's go get 1 more pound.
Oh, by the way, did you see what happened to the floor over there?
Oh, someone spilled rice, didn't they? Y'all, the price of meat is just ridiculous, isn't it? Thankfully, there's a few on sale today. Look at this. $24 for a roast. $26, $28, and that's the sale price. Even on sale, I don't really buy too much meat when Jackie's not home.
At least to there.
Thank you. Here's what we have. And Jackson is going to get one pizza. We have one at home that I'll cook him today, and he needs one more.
What? 4 cheese?
Yep, 4 cheese, Red Baron. That's the one you like.
2?
Just get one. We'll get somewhere later when they're on sale.
So cool, so cool.
All right, let's go check out. All right. We made it home. We've done homeschool. We've had lunch. We've had some quiet time.
And I had popcorn chicken.
You had popcorn chicken, and now we are going to make the Rice Krispie treats. Are you ready, Jackson? All right. Come over here. Here's our recipe right here. Oh, the butter's up there that we set out.
Why do we need butter for Rice Krispie?
You can put the butter in here. This is what we're going to melt it. Oh, wait a second.
What?
Where's our big bowl? Oh, can you carry the bowl over here? I'll hold the butter. It's been a long time since I made Rice Krispie treats. We're going to do the microwave method. We're going to try it out. Okay, put your butter in there.
And
It says we need 1/4 cup of butter. And we measured out the tablespoons, didn't we?
butter.
All right, we need a 10-ounce package of marshmallows. How many ounces are in there?
1 pound.
1 pound is 16 ounces, so we need a little more than half. Bring it over here, let's look at it. Why don't you take a good guess? Why don't you leave about this many in there? You've been really enjoying store-bought Rice Krispies, so we're gonna try our own, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Careful.
What do you think? You think that's good?
Yeah, I think we should have put the butter, did the butter first.
Well, we have to melt it all together, and then we're gonna, after it melts, we're gonna put a little bit of vanilla in it, okay? You're gonna eat one? Okay. Next, before we get too busy with the other stuff, let's measure the cereal. Read your recipe here. We have the butter. We have the marshmallows. We're gonna do vanilla in a minute. How much cereal do you need?
6 cups.
Okay, one of the other recipes I read said 9 cups. So let's go with, these are cups. Do you see where the 6 is?
Yeah.
Okay, pour about that many. No, we're gonna melt this separate. We're gonna pour cereal in here, okay?
Oh, cereal!
And we're not gonna use it yet. We're gonna use it last.
What did you say? Hang on.
Hang
on.
Okay. This one says 6. The other one says 9. You don't have to take this out.
Oh.
Just pour it like this. Go slow so you can see where you're measuring. What do you think? Oh, you still got a ways to go. Keep going. There you go. Go slow.
I can't see the 6. Oh, it's right up to the 6.
Okay. We'll start with that many, and then if we need more, we'll add more. I bet we're going to use a few more than that.
Whoa, you overfilled.
I told you, this might be too small to stir, but we're going to try it, okay?
Yeah, you overfilled that.
Okay, the first step is we're going to microwave this for 1 minute, and then we're going to stir it well, okay? Let me take the camera over there. All right, for 1 minute to start. After this, we're going to stir it, and we're going to keep going for 30 seconds until it's just melted, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, guys, you missed half of it.
Yeah, you turned it off.
I thought the camera was on, and apparently it was off.
It was on the whole time. Didn't you know that?
No, I didn't know that, which means I probably didn't record the last segment either. I probably thought I turned it on when I turned it off. But anyway, you get the gist of it. We mixed in the cereal into the marshmallows and the vanilla and the butter, you know, all the things. Okay, now we're going to use this foil because I don't have wax paper. We're going to use this foil to press it all down firmly, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to rub a little bit of butter on the foil, just so it won't stick.
Do I have to grab it?
No, you don't have to grab it. The way you make this into bars that you like is you push them down really hard like this, okay?
Oh.
Push it down into the pan. Push it all around. Get it over here and push it down. That's how it packs it hard into the bars that you like. Good. Let's see. Is it sticking all over? No, not too bad, is it? It is sticking a little bit. Hold on. You're supposed to have wax paper for this.
That is one big Rice Krispie.
It is one big Rice Krispie, and when they dry up a little bit, you'll be able to cut them into squares or bars, as they call them in the packages that you get. Okay?
Okay.
What do you think?
I like it.
You think they're going to be good? I think we needed more butter on that. Some people put butter on their hands and squish it. You want Mom to try that?
Yeah.
My hands are clean. I washed them well before we started cooking. Anybody that knows me knows my hands are always clean. There we go. If you put butter, it doesn't stick, you see? Now, if you had M&Ms or chocolate chips or anything like that, you could add them on top.
Why didn't we do that?
Well, I think this is enough sugar, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, there they are.
Whoa.
Okay, now that Jackson is done with his Rice Krispies and he is in his room cleaning it up so he can have his electronic time in a minute, let's get moving on with the meatloaf. Meatloaf is one of my favorite meals, but my husband doesn't like it very much, so I'm going to make it while he is at work and not home. I have never made meatloaf with ground turkey before. I know it'll work out fine and I know it'll taste great. My only concern is that ground turkey has a lot of water in it. And since I'm using my toaster oven, this is as big of a pan as I can fit in there. So hopefully I can leave enough space around the edges that it won't overflow in my toaster oven. As you saw at Walmart, I get the McCormick meatloaf seasoning. I love this. I love the flavor of this, the ease of it. You literally just dump this in, dump in the rest of the ingredients, mix it all together, and plop it in the pan. So we need this package. We need 2 pounds of ground beef or turkey. We need 2 eggs, lightly beaten. Let me get a fork. I cracked my eggs ahead of time. So the first thing we add in is 2 cracked eggs. Next, we need a half a cup of milk. As always, I have the Fairlife, extra protein, less sugar. It's pretty much the only milk we buy these days. There we go, half a cup of milk. This recipe is so easy and it's also very versatile. You can add any extra seasoning or ingredients that you want. Next, we need 1/4 cup of dry breadcrumbs. If you don't have breadcrumbs, you can use crushed up crackers, any kind of plain crushed up cereal. When I used to eat low carb, I used to use crushed up pork rinds. You can adjust this however you need to. It says you can also use soft breadcrumbs. I have never tried that. I do not like wet mushy bread, so that sounds gross to me. And then you need half a cup of ketchup or tomato sauce, which says optional, but that goes on the top. Now, if you want other stuff in your meatloaf, you make it how you want it. The last time I cooked something on here, I said the same thing. I said you can add onion if you want, pepper if you want, any other seasoning, spices you want. And I had so many comments saying, you should put onion in that, or you should put pepper in that first, or this, that, and the other. So let me say this again. You can make this however you want it, however your family will enjoy it. Me personally, raw onions, or if I just cut up an onion and put it in here, it will upset my stomach all night long. It's just not something that I choose to do. This seasoning does have onion powder in it. Onion powder is what I usually use in everything I cook. Garlic powder, things like that. Other ways you can make this versatile. You could put salsa in here. You could put some green chilies in here. You could make it, you know, season it up that way. You could use spaghetti sauce instead of the ketchup. I've made it before with barbecue sauce, with the sugar-free Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and it's really good. You can make this literally however your family wants it. Me personally, I like it just like this. This is all you do. You know I absolutely despise touching this meat. It's disgusting, but I'm just going to get it done as fast as I can. It's also still very cold. It's freezing my fingers. But I think it is pretty well mixed up. This is about the consistency that it should be. If you like your meatloaf a little drier, you can add some breadcrumbs, a little bit more breadcrumbs in it. Or like I said, you can add the other stuff, but I'm going to eat it just like this. So the key, let me make sure this is going to hold a form. That's the only thing you need, is that it needs to be able to hold a form. Because the key to making meatloaf is that you want to leave space around it in the pan. I think it looks pretty good. You don't want it to be all the way to the edges of the pan, because you need room for your grease to go. In the use of ground turkey, we need space for all that water to go. Turkey doesn't really have the grease in it, but it has more water than beef does grease. So you want to form it into a loaf. This probably maybe could have used a few more breadcrumbs, but I'm going to make it work. Since I try to eat low calorie, I try not to put as many breadcrumbs and things like that in my food, or as much bread in general. Okay, you want to make it into a loaf. You want it to be fairly even all the way around. You don't want one really big side and one really thin side, or it won't cook evenly. There's some pieces of turkey in here that look weird. Now, for me, this is the way I do it. Some people coat ketchup all over the top. Some people mix it inside. This is the way I was taught to make it when I was taught to make meatloaf, is that you just poke big holes in it, and then you go around with your sauce of choice and you just fill the holes up with it. It kind of puts some down on the inside to bake into there, but also you can put some on the top. So I'm going to put it about like that. Let me wash my hands and I will be right back. Today I am going to use Whataburger spicy ketchup. It's not really spicy. I don't really like a lot of spice, but it's going to give it just a little bit of extra flavor. Let's give it a shake. And let's just squirt it down. You don't have to be neat about it. Sorry if the angle isn't very good. We can squirt it in the holes. And then we can kind of tap the pan to kind of get it to go down a little bit more. This turkey doesn't stay separated like the beef does. You can see the holes are already actually closing up and filling themselves in. And I don't have as much space around the edges of the pan either, but I think it'll be okay. I'll just wash it really good in the oven. Okay, again, I'm gonna say ground beef works a little bit different. This is my first time to use turkey, but I think as it bakes, I think it'll go in there. So then across the top, I'm just gonna kind of do this. Just a little swirl. Now, another tip I have, if you're feeding a family and they're picky, anything you ever make with ground beef or ground turkey, you can actually grate up a zucchini and put it in your meat and nobody will notice. It kind of cooks in there. When my older kids were younger, I used to grate up zucchini in our taco meat, our sloppy joe meat, our hamburger patties, our meatloaf, you name it, and I would grate zucchini and I would cook it in there, and they never noticed. For me, since I'm the only one that's going to be eating on this, I'm going to eat half of it over the next few days and freeze half of it for the next time Jackie's at work. But I'm going to make my zucchini on the side And I'm also going to eat it with some beets. So here it is. We're gonna put it in the oven for about an hour. I like my meatloaf really well done. So it says 375 for an hour. We'll see you back when it's finished. Also, if anybody is curious, we spent $46.71 on the very few items we got at Walmart. Isn't it just sickening at how expensive groceries are now? I know we could have done without the Rice Krispie stuff, or we probably could have saved a little bit of money buying the store-bought ones. But as we talked about before, part of Jackson's math curriculum this next few months, part of his life skills that we teach, part of his, just being used to being around other sights and smells and touching new things is cooking. So when he asked me to get Rice Krispie treats this morning, I thought what a perfect and very simple, very quick, very easy thing that he could help me make. Hopefully he will eat some of them. Hopefully he will like them. But regardless, he helped me make them and he was excited about it. So, okay, I'm gonna clean all this up and I'll be back when the meatloaf is ready. There it is, a final look at my dinner. The meatloaf looks and smells delicious. I will say if I make it with ground turkey again, I will add a few more breadcrumbs because it is a lot more moist. But it's gonna be delicious. I decided instead of zucchini, I'm gonna have green beans because they just go with meatloaf. That's gonna be the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed the day in the life with Jackson and I. We had a great time hanging out with you. Don't forget, do something nice for yourself, and we will see you next time. Bye.